Nithyananda, everybody. Today is part 10 of Anahanta Chakra from the Guaranteed Solutions, the book that's written by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. And for the past 10 days, I guess, I have been visiting this book and the subtleties of love, what the definition of love is, how we perceive love, and of course what blocks the heart center. So Anahata Chakra is a chakra located in the heart region, and it gets blocked by attention, need, and approval seeking. Okay, so before I go a little further, you would notice, I think a lot of you will notice that I have a bandage on my ear, and that's because I had a routine test at the doctor's, and this is new to me. But if you want to have your oxygen level tested in your blood to see how much oxygen level there is in your blood, apparently they just take a little they just cut that part of the ear a little bit, pierce it, I guess, and once it's pierced, they collect the blood and then they check the oxygen level in the blood. So needless to say, mine is really good, obviously, because I take haritaki every night. So the oxygen level is at 97.5. It should be between 96 and 98, I guess. So I'm doing good. So don't be worried if you see this. I would like to wear my earring again. Because I did my Satya Sankalpa, the bleeding stopped quite quickly. But it was quite interesting to have this done. So I'll mention the obvious, which is the bandage on my ear. I have to keep it there until next day. What is tomorrow? Until tomorrow morning, I have to leave it there. When I went into the test today, there was one lady, and of course she must have, I didn't know what it was before I went into the test, but she was bleeding profusely. So when I looked at her, I thought, oh, what is that? Maybe the breathing test that I was gonna do, that could possibly cause the bleeding. So, but no, it's a cut that's voluntary, and a piercing, I guess, more than a cut. It's a piercing, and once they pierce, they just let the blood drop, and then they collect that and then measure how much oxygen there is in the blood. So it's only a simple test. It's the same as having blood test done. Anyway, so I'll mention the obvious before I go in. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do part 10 of the Anahata Chakra from the Guaranteed Solutions, and it is going to be touching on what blocks the heart center. So attention, need, and approval seeking, which is the transactional, conditioned way that we operate in society. That is what is blocking the Anahata Chakra, and we have existential energy which is completely available to all of us. That is what that we're looking at, tapping into that, and Bhagavan has showed us a couple of processes which I've shared in the other parts, and I believe one or two of you would have tested that out as well. So today, again, I've had a bit of a peek into this, what I'm gonna read, and it's actually quite interesting. So yesterday it was a question from a devotee asking about, whether a mother and child relationship is conditioned or unconditional. And Bhagavan actually talked about how that itself is not unconditional, because there are too many expectations there. There are many expectations between a mother and child relationship as well. Okay, so I'm going to continue on from there. I'm going to continue on from where I left off yesterday, which was very much about, well, actually, even a mother-child relationship, because of the expectation between mother and child is there, then, of course, it is conditioned love. And at any point, that love can be withdrawn. So here we go. This is what Swamiji has to say now. Love which is always under threat is not a real love. It is just arranged love. And anything arranged cannot be total. And when something is not total, it is always under threat. Love needs to be a celebration, not a duty. And one more thing, we all confuse love with respect. be very clear. When you love totally, nothing that you can do can appear disrespectful. You see, when you closely observe respect, you will find that when certain people do certain things, it appears absolutely normal. While the same thing, when some other person does it, it appears disrespectful. The energy behind the person doing the act is what causes the act to seem respectful or disrespectful. When the energy behind you is total, you can get away with anything. When you are not sure of yourself, you will get caught with the problems of respect. I'm not asking you to be disrespectful. I'm only saying that when your being resonates with love, your body language will be such that your actions can never seem disrespectful. But if you get caught with respect instead of love, then you are missing the whole thing. Then instead of being loving, you will start pretending, and when you pretend, you are not total. When you are centered on respect, you will pretend because respect is societal and it keeps changing in its definition. But if you are centered on love, then respect simply becomes a joyful byproduct. So center yourself on love and respect. So center yourself on love and respect will automatically happen. So center yourself on love and respect will automatically happen. Remember, respect is dead. Love is alive. Respect creates a distance. Love knows no distance. People are trained to be so fearful and respectful of God. They are never taught to love God. They are not allowed to touch the idols in the temples. They are expected to stand at a distance and bow down with reverence. They are taught to be wary of God. Understand, the first thing that children should be taught is that God is love. If you cannot embrace God, there is nothing left to embrace. Because God is everything. When you teach your child that you cannot embrace God, you're actually teaching him that God is different from the rest. By putting God on a pedestal, you are actually alienating yourself from the whole of existence. You're missing like anything. So somewhere when we are talking about, you see, associating attention with love, associating approval as love, associating respect with love. These are the points that I'm seeing more clearly now, that how we misconstrue what true love is, what is available to us, who we actually are, and just how societal conditioning makes us miss, and we become I guess we become like robots, not really in touch with what is real and behaving in a very mechanical way, thus continuing conflicts that happen in our day-to-day life. So exactly as Bhagavan is saying, you are missing like anything. By putting God on a pedestal, you're actually alienating yourself from the whole of existence. You are missing like anything. So true, right? If I put anybody on a pedestal, then I'm saying that you're above me, I'm less than you. And when I'm saying you are better than me, I'm less than you, then I do create a distance more clearly, because I'm saying there's a difference between where you're at and where I am, or where you are at and where I can ever be. But when I'm getting that, when I'm relating myself as existential energy, and Bhagavan says that he is that, and I have that, then I can access that, then it's just about being, it's not even about leveling up, or it's not about something's better than, it's just me experiencing freely myself to be tuned with myself, and enjoying that intimacy, enjoying that relationship with God, existential energy. Then I'll continue reading. Just have some social intelligence and play the game of respect in an intelligent way when required, that's all. Mind you, this kind of respect will come along with deep awareness and intelligence, but it will not distract you from your center. It will not cause you to be less loving. It will merely be an act of intelligence, that's all. So even in a heated moment, if we are able to do what is right for that person, then surely that has got to be from the space of love. So just like just like I'm inviting all of you to experiment with what Bhagavan is sharing in this book, in the Guaranteed Solution, the truths that he's revealing, the subtle things that we do, the subtle misunderstandings that we have. All right. So in order to explore more, I would invite you to play, check out, internalize some of these truths that have been shared. And I'm doing the same. I'm doing the same as I read, actually read these pages. I'm finding that I'm getting the more subtle aspects of the, what is existential energy and what is conditioned love, how we understand love to be. So, okay, Tony is asking which one? Tony, what are you asking me? If you clarify, I don't know which point you are wanting me to expand on. If you just type for me, I'll expand. In the meantime, I'll tell you a small story that's in the book. So, a small story. A mother went with her child to a public function. Somehow, she lost track of the child and they got separated in the crowd. The mother got very panicky and started searching all over for the child. Suddenly, she heard behind her a voice, "Maria, Maria!" And she turned around and saw her daughter. She ran to her, hugged her and asked her, "But why were you calling me Maria instead of Mom?" The child replied, "That would have been of no use. There are so many moms around here." Children are still centered in themselves and they are more alive and alert than us. Their innocence, their love, their body language speaks for them, not their words. Because of this, whatever they say or do does not seem disrespectful, and they get away so easily. Once the mind steps in with the societal conditioning, this innocence disappears. Then we have to make up with words and pretensions because we have forgotten how to be innocent and total. When love becomes a duty, it becomes a burden. And when it becomes a burden, you will not be celebrating, you will be under pressure. Parents teach children reasons to love. From a young age, love is taught with a reason. Do we ever teach them to love the earth? Do we teach them to love nature? Do we teach them to love our relatives? We teach them to love us. We teach them to love everyone who will be of some use to them in some way. So I'll stop there. Oh, yes. Okay. So Tony is asking, which book is it? It is the Guaranteed Solutions, the book Guaranteed Solutions, and it's written by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. And it's my one of my favorites. I've read it multiple times, and as any other material from Swamiji, the number of times you read, the more and more you read, the more and more dimensions are available for us to access. So today was part 10 of this particular chapter, which is called the Anahanta Chakra, and it gets blocked by attention, need, and approval seeking, and much, much more. So I would actually want to sit and go through this chapter more thoroughly again, because it has so many beautiful points that Swamiji is making that would make actually our relationships a lot more fulfilling if we were to totally understand this chapter. Completely be available for experimenting with what Swamiji is saying, and to check out, well, actually, yes, we do 99%, if not 99.5% of the time, live from the space of conditioned love rather than existential energy. So that's why our relationship qualities are likely to be not at the level that we'd like them to be, and also not fulfilling the way we'd like them to be fulfilling. A lot of conflict, a lot of confusion continuing. So I'd invite all of you to have a read of this book, Guaranteed Solutions, particularly Anahanta Chakra. Well, the whole book is on the 7 energy centers. So you have the Mooladhara Chakra, which gets blocked by fantasy. Then the Swadhisthana Chakra. So the Mooladhara is at the base of the spine, and then above that is the Swadhisthana Chakra, 2 inches below the belly button, and that is blocked by fear. And 2 inches above the belly button is the Manipuraka Chakra, which gets blocked by worry. And of course, the heart center is the Anahata center, which gets blocked by attention, need, and approval seeking. And you have the Vishuddhi chakra, which is at the throat region, that gets blocked by comparison and jealousy. And then you have the third eye, the Anya chakra, which gets blocked by ego and seriousness. And then you have the Sahasrara chakra, which is the top, the crown, and that gets blocked by complaining and discontentment. So this whole book is actually a really, really powerful book, and it is one that brought me a lot of clarity in the early days when I started reading this book. So back in 2011, I read this book 6 times at that time, and probably listened to it I don't know how many times. The content is so rich that it keeps giving again and again, and I'm glad that I'm reading this out as part of the live videos, because it's making me revisit again and go again into more depth. So thank you all for listening. Thank you all for how many of you are here. Let me just say a quick hello to everyone. So we had Suranga, yes, Matushi, Leslie, Jeanette, Jitinder, Christina, Ethan, Avimukta, Anna, yes, and Jasmine, Thakur, Tony Lofton, Fabiana, Kokila, Vipul Sharma, and Naomi. Yes, lovely. Nithyanandam, to all of you, are good, wonderful, what am I saying? A wonderful wave. Yeah, well, I'll make it up. Why not? Blissful wave. Loving wave. You all. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna post the link for the Guaranteed Solutions book, the PDF version, in this particular video comments. I will share also on my YouTube channel. Now, if there's anything you think, okay, I can add this to Ma Atmadaya, she can, her understanding will expand, then please share in the comments box. And if you have any questions as well, please do ask in the comments box. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. I will put my YouTube channel and the Guaranteed Solutions, so both of the links can be accessed easily. I upload the same video on YouTube as well, so it's easier to access. You can go to the ones that you really want to watch, and you can go through part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, etc, etc. Create a playlist if you want. But yeah, there you go. Thank you so much once again. And Kokila, yes, thank you. Nithyanandam, take care.